Hey there, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Yoga 319. So this week we are going to look at some balancing postures, some standing balance and a little bit of crow maybe. So we'll weave this into a flow and see how we get on. So if you like the flow, please give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment, subscribe to my channel. So should we get started? Yeah, I think so. So we're going to start in all fours today. And I've got a really annoying fly buzzing around me, but hey ho, we'll crack on. So let's stack the joints, wrists under shoulders, knees directly under the hips. And we'll start off just warming up the wrists. So start to draw some little circles around the wrists with the shoulders. As I said, we're probably going to come into a crow pose at some point during our practice, so we just want to make sure those wrists are nice and warmed up. Take it a couple of times in both directions. Good, then maybe you like to pivot the hands so that the fingertips are pointing into each other, and then just take a little sway side to side. Good. Perfect. You can take this a step further and pivot the hands all the way around so that the fingertips are pointing back towards the knees. And then maybe you just fancy taking a rock forward and back. Good. Nice. And then just take your hands back so they're facing the natural way. Let's start to warm up the spine and the abdominals with some delicious cow-cat. So inhale, lower the belly, bring the chest forward, take the gaze up. Good, feeling that nice stretch on the front of the abdominals. Good, and then exhale to round through the spine. Bring the chin towards the chest, crown of the head is facing down towards earth. Good, inhale, let's float forwards. Nice, and just take a couple of rounds just like this, linking the movement to your breath. So as we always do during our practice, we're trying to focus in on that breath and use the breath to guide the movement. Maybe it feels nice to close the eyes for a round or two. So you really get that sensation of flexion and extension in the spine. Good, nice. Then meet me back in a neutral spine. We're going to come into a half balancing tabletop now. So start to extend the right fingertips away from you and then pick up that left foot and send energy away from you through the heel. Flex the foot. Good, we're going to use an exhale to take this right hand behind, tap the inside of your left thigh. Inhale, take the right arm forward. Exhale, bring the right arm back, tap the inside of the left thigh. Good, take the arm forward. One more time, bring the hand back, tap the inside of that thigh. Nice, and then from here, see if you can bend the left heel so you're bringing the heel in towards the bottom. Now don't try and grab for the foot just yet with that right hand. Really use the hamstring and the glute first of all to squeeze the heel in as much as you can and then see if the foot can find the hand. Push that left foot in to your right hand. Feel a really nice stretch along the front of this left quad. Good, holding for one more breath. That feels good. And then release. Take your right hand down, take your left knee down. Let's just wiggle the hips here. So just move the hips in whatever way feels good for you today. Good, you're probably at home, no one can see you. So just move in any way that feels good for your body. Nice, meet me back, neutral spine. So from here, we'll extend the left fingertips towards the front of the mat as we pick up that right foot and take it all the way back. Flex your right foot, send energy away from you through that right heel. Good, and then sweep this left arm behind, tap the inside of the right thigh. Inhale, take the arm forward. Two more, exhale, circle the arm back, tap the inside. Inhale, forwards. Nice, final time, bring the hand back. Then from here, start to bend that right leg, bring the heel in towards the bottom. Use the hamstring and the glute first thing first. Really see how much you can squeeze that heel in using the leg and the glute alone. And then when you can't squeeze it anymore, see if you can take a hold of the foot with the hand and then push the foot into the hand, feeling a nice stretch along the front of the right quad. Should we give my fly a name? What should we call it? Freddie the fly. Good, just wants to be here for this lovely balancing practice. Nice, one more breath. And then release the knee down, release the hand down. Take any more wiggles that feel good. So maybe you're going to draw nice big circles with these hips all the way around, back to the heels, out to the side. Good, and then maybe taking it in the opposite direction. Oh, good. So just choosing to move the body in whatever way you fancy. Good, meet me back in that neutral spine. So you can keep the hands here, or if you wish, you can walk them forward a fraction. Turn your hands out slightly so the index fingers are pointing towards the corners of the mat. If you're particularly tight in the shoulders, that might just give you a little bit more room. We're going to tuck our toes under. Send the bottom back towards the heels, and then lift on up and back into our first downward facing dog. Good, so lifting that tailbone up towards the sky, feeling length in that spine. Spreading those shoulders apart. Good, taking the gaze up between the thighs. So perfectly fine if to begin with, or perfectly fine if throughout the whole session you've got a slight bend in the knees, no problem. Doesn't matter if your heels don't meet the mat. But let's pedal out the legs, bending into one side and then the other. And then maybe, just maybe, you'll start to feel those heels getting a little bit closer towards the ground. Nice, let's find some stillness. And then from here, take your gaze between your hands, start to walk your feet, take as many steps as you need. And we're going to come to a forward fold towards the front of the mat. Find a connection between your tummy and your thighs, and then bring your hands either behind your ankles or your shins. Good, and just use those arms like levers to draw the upper body towards the lower body. Good. When you feel your next inhale come, use it to trail the fingers up the front of the legs, uncurling the spine, a vertebra at a time. Head is the last thing to come up, rolling the shoulders up, back and down. Nice. So let's find a mountain pose first of all. Big toes touch, slight gap in the heels. Stand up nice and tall, draw the tummy in. Good. From here, we're going to bring the hands to prayer at the chest. Bring your weight into your right leg as you pick that left heel up and take it towards the bottom. So a bit like we were just doing on the ground. Use the hamstring, use the glute, squeeze the heel in. And then when you can't squeeze anymore, take the left hand behind. See if you can catch a hold of the top of the foot. Good, take your right arm to the sky. And then exhale to start to kick that left foot into the left hand as you hinge forward. Good, so it doesn't matter how high the leg lifts, doesn't matter at all. And only hinge forward as much as you need to counterbalance that leg going back. Good. Nice, so hold here for one breath. Then find stability. When you've got it, release the foot and take your arms out to the sides. I'm going to have bent elbows because I haven't got that much space, but if you can get the arms out straight, then that's cool. From here, we're going to start to bend into the right leg. Good, nice and steady. Bring the fingertips down, step your left leg all the way to the back of the mat. Plant your hands, step your right leg back into your high plank. From here, we're going to move into a side plank. So roll onto the outside edge of the right foot, inside edge of the left, extend this left arm alongside your ear. So you can stay here, you've got an option to bring this right knee down. Good, you've always got that option. Good, nice, really create length down the left hand side of the body, reach the left fingertips up and over. And then bring this left palm down, turn back on to your toes, and let's take our first vinyasa. So let's start by lowering the knees, chest and the chin to come down. Inhale, slide onto the belly, release the feet, lift the head and the chest. Elbows in, cobra pose. Good, exhale, float back down. Retuck the toes, take the bottom back towards the heels, feel length in the spine, and then lift the tailbone up and back towards the sky. Good, downward dog. Nice, so take any wiggles that you fancy taking here. You've always got options in your down dog. You can bring some movement if that's what you need. If you want to find stillness and close the eyes, that's also an option. Good. And then we're going to start to walk the feet towards the hands. So again, take as many steps as you need, and we'll meet in that forward fold towards the front of the mat. Good. So find connection, tummy to thighs, lift the tailbone towards the sky. Let the head hang heavy. Good. And then inhaling to trail the fingers up the front of the legs. Uncurling the spine one vertebra at a time, coming all the way up to standing. Let's roll the shoulders up, back and down, and then meet in a mountain pose. Good, so we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So bring hands to prayer at your chest, shifting your weight into your left leg. Pick up your right foot and take it behind. Use the hamstring and the glute to squeeze the heel in towards the bottom. And then take your right hand, see if you can catch a hold of the foot. Take the left arm up to the sky and exhale, start to kick that right foot back into the right hand. Good, remembering it doesn't matter how high you come up here. Just find a sweet spot for your balance. Good. Finding something a few feet ahead of you on the floor that isn't moving. Good, and once you're there, and once you've got your balance, release the foot, take the arms out to either side. Good, holding for a breath, floating dancer. And then we're going to exhale to lower down. Very slowly, very steadily in to this left leg. Place your hands down, step your right foot back, step your left foot back, high plank. And then we'll take our side plank on the other side. So rolling on to the left hand, extend the right arm up and alongside the right ear. So you're creating length all the way down the right hand side of the body. And you can be, the feet can be one in front of each other, or maybe this bottom knee is down on the ground, no problem. Good, holding for a breath. And then come in to your normal plank pose. Good, so we'll take a second vinyasa. We can stick with knees, chest, chin, or maybe you're thinking about hovering the body in one straight line. We'll go all the way down to the mat. Release the feet, inhale, lift the head and the chest, come into your cobra pose, shoulders sliding down the back. Exhale, float back down, retuck the toes, take the bottom back towards the heels, and then lift the tailbone to the sky. Downward facing dog. Good, nice. Bringing any movement that you need, find stillness if you need. Good, and then we're going to make our way back to the front of the mat. So we're going to walk, we can step, or maybe you're thinking about hopping both feet through. We'll take a deep bend in the knees as we sweep it all the way up to the sky. Way. Find a prayer up there, bring it down to your chest. Release into your mountain pose. It's amazing how much heat these candles are kicking off. Woo. Okay. So we're going to take the same thing, right side again. So bring hands to prayer at the chest. Start to shift your weight into your right foot. Pick up your left foot and bring the heel towards the bottom. Good, so squeeze it in using the hamstring and the glute, and then take the left hand behind, see if you can catch hold of the foot. Take that right arm up towards the sky, draw the tummy in towards the spine. With an exhale, start to kick the foot back. Find something on the ground a few feet ahead of you, a nice spot that isn't moving, focus on that. Good. When you're in your max position and you feel stable, release your hands. Good, minor bend, but maybe you can take yours wide to the sides. And then we're bending in to this right leg, coming down steadily with control. Place the hands down onto the mat, step your left leg back. Step your right leg back, high plank, roll onto your right hand, find your side plank. So, I'm going to give you some options here. You can stack the feet if you wish. Maybe you want to float this left leg up. Good, holding for 3, 2, 1. Good, come back into your forward plank. And then we'll take a vinyasa. So we can do knees, chest, chin. We can hover the body all the way down, or maybe we hover halfway. So just shift the shoulders forward slightly as you exhale to lower down. Good, then inhale onto the tops of the feet, open the chest, engage the legs. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Good. So again, let's just settle into our dog, see how it feels as it's starting to feel a little bit deeper. Is the spine starting to feel a little bit longer? Good, and then we'll walk, step, or maybe we take the gaze between the hands as we hop the feet through. Good, deep bend in the knees, sweep it all the way up to the sky. Find your power, bring it down to the chest. Release into your mountain. Good. And then one more time on the left side. Hands are going to come to prayer at the chest. Shift your weight into your left leg. Engage the muscles in that standing leg. Pick up your right heel, bring it in towards your bottom. Use your hamstring, use your glute, squeeze the heel in, then release that right hand behind. See if you can take a hold of the right foot. Good. I'm so wobbly today. Take the left arm up to the sky. With an exhale, start to kick that right foot into the right hand. Find something just ahead of you on the ground that is not moving. Good. Find stability and then release the foot. Take the arms wide. Hold for a breath, floating dancer. And then bending in to your left leg. Steadily start to bring your fingertips down as you step that right leg back. Plant your hands, step your left leg back. Nice, roll onto the sides of the feet. Good, maybe we're stacking the feet this time. Right arm extends alongside the right ear. So staying here, or maybe we're floating this right leg up. Again, it doesn't matter how high that leg goes. It doesn't matter if it's just a few inches. Just have a play. Good, and then we'll turn forward, back into our forward plank. Take your vinyasa, knees, chest, chin, or maybe hovering down. Inhale, up dog or cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, nice. Doing well, gang. Good, so just take a few breaths here. Good, this is meant to be a nice restorative resting posture. My husband laughs at me when I say that because he's like, down dog isn't resting. So if you feel like you want a rest, just lower the knees. Good. Now what we're going to do is we're either going to walk, step, or hop the feet to the outsides of the hands. Good. So the feet are coming to the edges of the mat. So probably heels on the mat, toes off. Sit that bottom back into your low squat, your yogi squat. Good. Have a little wiggle. Side to side. Good. Sinking deep into those hips. Nice. Good, and then we're going to start to play around with our crow pose. So you might just want to shuffle back a bit, or I'll shuffle back a bit, at least so I'm a bit more central. And then bring your palms down in front of you. So first round, just bring your toes back onto the mat. First round, we're going to hug the outside of the upper arms with the thighs. Good. So you want your legs as high up your upper arms as you can manage. Palms come down. So if my palms are here, I'm going to be taking my gaze towards the front edge of my mat. Good. So just start to rock forward and backwards. Just shifting that weight into the hands. And then just start to see if you can lift one toe. Good. Then maybe you see if you can lift the other toe. And the key really is to squeeze the arms with the legs and then push against the legs with the arms, so you're creating that kind of nice stable friction point, I suppose. Good. Now whenever you feel ready, you can maybe think about floating both toes up. Good. So remember to take that gaze slightly ahead of you. That will help. Good. So just hold for however long you feel comfortable and then come on out. From here, we'll step back into our plank pose. Good, lowering down, knees, chest, chin, or hover down halfway or full way into your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Good. So again, we're either going to walk, step, or maybe frog jump the feet to the outside of a hand. So heels are off the mat for a minute. Sorry, heels are on the mat, toes are off. Good, toes pointing outwards. Good, just have a little wiggle in your squat, maybe close the eyes. Good, and then shift yourself back a little bit if needs be. Bring your toes back onto the mat. So we can stay with that lower variation where we take the knees on the outside of the upper arms. Or if you want to try going into a higher version of crow, or sometimes they call it crane, then we're going to bring the hands down, just lengthen the legs. Good. And then we're going to try and find the knees as high up into the armpits as we can. Good. So taking that gaze forward, don't look down between your hands. That's where your weight will want to go. So again, you can experiment with lifting one foot and then the other foot. Really focus on engaging your core, squeezing everything in. And then maybe, just maybe, you float both toes up. Good. So we're either going to step back from there, hold it for as long as you like, step back or jump back into your plank, and then take your vinyasa, so knees, chest, chin, or hover down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Good. So we'll do that one more time, and then we will move on maybe to something a little bit different, or a variation thereof, should we say. So walk, step, or maybe frog jump the feet forwards. Good. So whichever variation, maybe you want to be in the lower version, maybe you want to lift and straighten the legs so you can bring the knees up the back of the arms. Good. Find your point of focus. Draw that tummy in. Spread your hands, your fingers nice and wide. Grip into the mat with the fingertips. Good. And then maybe you float the feet up. Good. Push the earth away with the hands. Nice. And then maybe you jump back into your plank. Maybe you step back. One final vinyasa here. Knees, chest, chin, or hover down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Open that chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm starting to feel it now. Good. Pedal those heels. Good. And then we'll just start to walk the feet towards the middle of the mat. Good. And then bring the hands towards the feet, and we'll hang out here for a moment in a fold. Good. So a few options. You can take peace fingers around the big toes. Take those elbows out to the sides as you draw the upper body down into the legs. Maybe you want to walk the feet under the hands, just to give you a little bit of leverage, pushing feet against hands and vice versa. You might start to feel a little bit more length and opening in the back of the body, in the legs, in the lower back. Good. Nice. Release. And then we'll use an inhale to uncurl the spine. Come up all the way to standing. Head is the last thing to come up. Let's roll those shoulders up, back and down. Good. Okay. So you guys can stay this way facing, but I'm going to face you so you can maybe see this a little bit better. So we're going to find our chair pose. So big toes touch, slight gap in the heels. Inhale, sweep the arms up, sit the bottom back. Good. Glue those knees together. Good. Feet are together. Then bring the hands to pray out your chest. We're going to come into a twist. So right elbow is going to hook on the outside of the left thigh. So first things first, take the gaze down. Check your feet are aligned. Check that your knees are aligned. And then maybe you take the gaze up towards the sky, bringing the rotation in to the upper back. Good. Now you can stay here working on your chair twist, working on strengthening the legs, or if you fancy, you can try a side crow. So if we're trying side crow, we're going to bring the hands down to the side. So spread the fingers nice and wide again. So same theory. We're creating a little shelf for our legs with this right upper arm. Good. And you can roll the weight forward and back a few times. Maybe picking one toe up, picking the other toe up. Good. And then find something about over here. So a little bit ahead of you that isn't moving. Focus your gaze on it. And then see, push the earth away with the hands. Use the core, see if you can float the feet up. Good. Holding for as long as you feel comfortable with. Good. And then bring it down. Nice. Come to center. Lift the bottom to the sky. Bend the knees, sit the bottom back. Good. Couple more. Inhale, lift the bottom to the sky. Head comes towards the knees. Exhale, sit the bottom back down. Heels are lifted. Good. Exhale, heels float down. Knee, head to knees, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, good. And then roll up the spine, one vertebra at a time. Come all the way up to standing. Head is the last thing to come up. Roll those shoulders up, back and down. Cool, so let's give the chair twist to go on the other side, and then maybe, just maybe, we try the side crow. Big toes touch, good. Inhale, sweep the arms up, sit the bottom back. Good, find a neutral spine. Often a good way to find that is overly tilting and then overly tucking the pelvis, and then you can kind of find your sweet spot in the middle. Good. So hands are going to come to prayer at the chest. Left elbow hooks on the outside of the right thigh. So check in, take the gaze down for a minute, check the feet, check the knees are in line. That left knee will want to creep forward, draw it back. Once you're satisfied with that, then maybe you start to take the gaze up towards the sky. Nice. Excellent. So you can either stay here and work on your twist and work on your legs, or maybe you're going to come into that hand balance. So if we are, we're bringing the hands down to the side, spread your fingers nice and wide. Good. So again, find something a bit ahead of you that isn't moving. Take your gaze there. Just start to rock forward and back to see how it feels. Just maybe lift the toes a little bit. And then when you feel ready, really engage that core. And then see if the feet wants to come up. Good. So you'll probably find it easier on one side than the other. Good, I sure do. So I've got a weak left wrist, so that side feels harder. But hey, so once you've had enough, come down and sit on your bottom. Good. So let's finish with a single leg forward fold. So extend that left leg away from you, bring the right sole of the foot into the left inner thigh. Inhale, lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold towards your left foot. So doesn't matter if you can't reach that foot, no problem. Just come forward as far as is comfortable for your body until you can feel a nice stretch. Good. So just take it easy here. Take a nice few deep breaths. Good. So nice short, sharp practice on a few different types of balances today. So we had some standing balance, some balancing in side plank, and then some hand balances in crow and side crow. So just check in with how you got on today, and then maybe do this practice again in a few weeks, and then just see. If you've been doing my Zoom classes, you might see some progress. Good, so let's inhale to lift up. Let's switch over the legs. Right leg goes long. Bring that left foot into the inside of the thigh. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhale to fold. Good. So just coming down as far as is comfortable, trying not to round too much into the back. Good. Nice, breathe into wherever you feel the tension. Good. And maybe you need to take a bend in this right knee if you're very tight in the hamstring, and that's all good. No problem. As long as you're feeling a stretch in your body, that's the main thing. Yeah, so if you haven't joined me in one of my live online Zoom classes where we do all this kind of stuff and a bit more, then please feel free. I think I'm going to pop the link in the notes. So yeah, get involved. It'd be great to see you there. Good. Nice. Inhale. Come all the way back up. Nice. Let's cross over those legs. Good. Take a nice big inhale, lengthen those arms out to the sides. Good. Exhale, bring the right arm over the left. Give yourself a big hug. Chin comes to chest. Stretch out the back of the neck. Good. Inhale, take the arms wide. Exhale, bring the left arm on top of the right. Give yourself a nice big hug. Say, well done me for trying those balances. Good. And then release the hands onto the knees. So remembering, if you're a bit nervous playing around with things like the crow pose, it's a really good idea to get like a cushions or duvet or just something ahead of you, so then you sort of that fear of falling goes away a little bit. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this flow, this balancing flow. Yeah, let me know what you thought. Let me know how you got on, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for joining me. Lots of love.